unrelated to my number 5 fuel injector, when this car got wet after it rained, I would have a rich condition because one or more of my coils, my coil on plug units, the COPs, one or more of them were failing to operate once it was wet. And the discussions I found online, people talking about this, is, you know, they take to a mechanic would change 1, 2, even 6 coil packs, and the next time it rained it would happen again. One guy said that it's just the coil pack by design, they're doing it. And he says wrap all 6 coil packs in electrical tape. So before I put the upper intake back on, I'm going to pull out all of the coil packs. I'm going to clean them all really good with some brake cleaner and let them dry, and then wrap them all in electrical tape and put them back in. And I'll see if that helps. Okay, so after I cleaned these coil units up, I noticed that 4 of them out of 6 are cracked, and one of them, keep in mind, is brand new. Brand new one's not cracked. They tend to crack right there. 2 of them are cracked there, and the other 2 are cracked in a similar location. You know, either a different crack along there, but somewhere towards the base they tend to crack. And the theory that I've read online is that those cracks, that's what's letting water in when it rains, and the top of your engine gets wet just because, you know, there's some moisture, and that moisture gets in there and causes them to fail. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going to wrap them all in electrical tape and see what happens. Just drive the car and see what happens the next time it rains. I have wrapped each one of these thoroughly in electrical tape. I used over a brand new roll, more than a brand new roll. I started at the bottom right here and wrapped all the way around, all the way to the top. Then I put some layers across the top there, and then ran it again around there from the top to the bottom, and then kept going from the bottom back up to the top. So it was like three layers around the side. So where it was cracked on each of these, I got 3 layers. Now this is my brand new one, and this one wasn't cracked at all, and this one had a very small, almost invisible crack. So I'm going to put these 3, these are my best 3, I'm going to put them on the far bank in the back, the one that I cannot get to. And 2 of these had fairly large cracks, and one of them had a small crack. So I'm going to put these on the 4, 5, and 6 positions because I can easily change them out later if I need to, if this doesn't fix anything. And then before I install these, they're all ready to go in right now, but before I install them, each one of the pads that they seal up against, I'm going to put a thin bead of RTV on each of those. So I'm going to put a thin bead of black RTV on each of these, and while the RTV is still wet, I'm going to sink the coils down and bolt them into place. So I've got all the coil packs back in, and just give these a light tug, make sure they're clipped in there. There were a couple that didn't want to clip in place, so I was going to have to break out the zip ties again. But all you need to do is push it in there. If it doesn't automatically click into place, and just lift up just gently with your finger the tab that you push down to remove it, kind of kick it up with your finger, and that'll lock it in. So there's unlocked, and then push it on there, and then lift up with your finger right there on that, and that should lock it in. Yep, that one's locked in. They're all in there. I had a lot of electrical tape left over, so I took one additional precaution. I taped all of the electrical connectors as well. Taped the electrical connector and then wrapped it around the actual coil, and then right where I left off at the end of the tape, I put a zip tie around each one. So all 6 are like that. Now they are thoroughly taped up, and I would assume that moisture is not going to get in. And if moisture does get in, well, then it's trapped there, and the gremlins will last longer than I'm used to them lasting. Normally when this thing gets wet, it only runs bad for about a 10-mile drive. You shut it off, next time you start it up, it's fine. So we'll see what happens next time it gets wet. I'll just be happy that I've got a number 5 cylinder again, because wet or dry, that number 5 cylinder has been out for about, I don't know, a couple weeks now.